Hey everyone, welcome back to Wrestling Defenders, presented by Bpoint5 Gaming with your hosts. It's me, Alex Lopez, with me always, my buddy Grant Levron. We have a lot to talk about today. We have Payback, we have a lot.
We do, yes.
Because a lot has happened since the last time we did Wrestling Defenders.
Yeah.
We have Payback.
Yes.
We have a lot of spring cleaning to deal with.
Yes,
and we have some asked releases from WWE. So let's talk about the spring cleaning.
The Future Endeavors Friday,
Future
as
Endeavors
people
Friday.
are starting to call it now.
So a lot of superstars have been released, such names as Hornswoggle, Alex Riley, Zeb Coulter, Cameron, Santino Marella, the Brooklyn Brawler, Adam Rose, El Torito, and most surprisingly is Stardust and Damian Sandow. Now Stardust, or Cody Rhodes, was released very recently as of this recording. Was it earlier this week? Past weekend?
Yeah. It
Actually,
was earlier
wasn't
this
it
weekend.
Sunday?
It was Sunday, because I remember you and I were texting back and forth, and then I had broke the news to you, like, towards the end of, I feel like it was at the end of Extreme Rules it came out.
I thought it was a little bit. Actually, it may have been, because I remember thinking the next day, he probably asked. Well, not probably asked, but probably one of the reasons was I just realized he wasn't even on the pay-per-view.
Yeah, no, he really wasn't, and that was really surprising. But at the end of the day, I'm not really surprised, because Cody Rhodes had all this potential, and it was much like a Damian Sandow type situation, to where he had all this potential, he had all this greatness. The fans loved him, and turns out everything that we had been fed about him liking the Stardust gimmick and everything like that was a lie.
Yeah, so right here we have this long. He posted about it, and so I'm just going to read through it. Setting foot in the dingy old Greensboro Coliseum this past Monday can only be described for me as just a whimsical moment of clarity. At this point, most folks know that I have indeed asked for my release from World Wrestling Entertainment, but it's paramount in my mind for the fans of pro wrestling to have some answers and not to be left with questions. A many superlative can be used to describe my mentor in wrestling, but one I often forget about is fearless. And it's a trait I wish more had been passed down my way. So there I was, standing in the very same locker room Ric Flair had dressed in before changing the wrestling pay-per-view, closed circuit at the time, Game Forever, and capturing the NWA title at Starrcade 83. A Flair for the gold. It's sad after once again being benched off TV that my fate is said spot was instead to be relegated to watching a monitor, advertising a returning star, and kicking open my tummy gear bag for an outfit I had long outgrown and a face paint kit. Both Triple H and Vince McMahon had given me many fun and challenging opportunities in my career, and I showed my gratitude by always pushing for the best segment I could create, the most interest I could generate. They gave me the chance to train on the job with some of the most brilliant minds in our world, gentlemen like Arn Anderson and Finlay. I would do this job for free, but that wouldn't stop WWE from always compensating me in a generous manner. My goal in pro wrestling has always been to win WWE Championship, the one accolade in the game my father never obtained. And for a decade, I tried to convince both Vince and Triple H that I could be their star player, the varsity quarterback, if you will. But it seems they had reached the point where neither of them saw that in me. I sincerely appreciate Triple H's unflinching respect for my father and how he has acted as a custodian of history in honoring him since his passing. He did not owe me the same respect he gave Dream, but I thought I could earn it in time. One of the last discussions, we had included him telling me that WWE is a play and everyone has their role that needs to act at their best. All I can think of to say is that the best actors don't want the lesser roles. In the past 6 months, I had pleaded with WWE Creative and both my bosses to let me roll the dice once again and be Cody Rhodes. I had pitched to every writer on the staff like a door-to-door salesman on how and why and when. Believe me, there are many of those who sought to help me. Brian James, Nick, Faz, Jay Russo, Dave K, JBL, and Cole for letting me go wild on their YouTube show. And for others, I'm sure. Both head writers of Raw and SmackDown, one pretending to be Brian Gerwitz and the other too busy hitting on developmental divas, continued to not return my pitches or emails, and in face-to-face encounters tried big league me by pretending to be on their clearly powered-off laptops, barely willing to listen to an idea I considered beneficial to more than one talent. What's that expression? Don't take no for an answer. What do you do when you don't get an answer at all? So there I was, having done everything I could possibly do for 10 years to make the most out of both large opportunities and even the half-cocked ones like Paint Up Like Your Brother. Chicken shit and the chicken salad became my speciality. And with those worthy opportunities afforded me, I can only hope I fully executed. I made the walk down the ramp at multiple WrestleManias. I've had a WrestleMania match canceled while I stood at the curtain moments before my music hit. I felt like I had a bag of those brass rings, and when it came time for me to cash in, I find I can't do so. Like I said, Monday was whimsical because I felt that fearlessness in my blood, even if just for a fleeting moment. I realized that I don't need to sell myself to these two riders captaining a broken, unrecognizable system. Matter of fact, with the time I had put in the body of work I presented, it should have been the other way around. I realized that blood is thicker than paint, that I know who I am and what I'm capable of. I'm not Dusty Rhodes. I'm Cody Rhodes. I'm a pro wrestler. I'm proud of that. It's been said never to leave money on the table, but no money is worth being less than who you are. Ask my wife. I don't even read check breakdowns. This was never about money. This was always about moments, and I'll be damned if my father's legacy is Stardust or a series of sizzle reels for NXT. It's not my job to pick up his sword. It's my privilege. I will miss many of those soldiers in the locker room, some who I have earned their friendship. Guys like Cesaro, Zack Ryder, Tyler Breeze, Kevin Owens, Harper, Kofi, Ty, The Wasteland, and the NC. Keep that locker room clean and keep having a better match than you're supposed to. I do believe the cream rises and hard work prevails. My work just needs to be elsewhere. I want to thank both fans and critics of mine alike. There is no greater responsibility than having a fan who expects a level of entertainment from you, and there's nothing more motivating than those who buy a ticket yet find something lacking. Considering my first few creator wrestler years of my career, I always took the criticism as more of a request, and I made what adjustments I could for the overall product. Again, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. Almost 1 year ago, my biggest light in my sky was ripped away from me when I lost my father. It's time for me to try and seek out that illumination, that glow that's still out there. This is not a goodbye. There's a whole world of film and television, and that stage I might find I have a knack for. Maybe I even already have an offer as soon as the future is considered. Though I'm a wrestler, so that's what I'll do: wrestle.
This seems like I always think it's funny whenever you see a wrestler's persona matched up with their own personal life, because Cody Rhodes was always this prestigious guy, and he developed the Rhodes Scholars with Damien Sandow and had legacy with Ted DiBiase's son. And from what I'm seeing from this is that he actually did put himself in every single character, whether it be even Stardust, like someone that outlandish, and he actually does care about the job that he does. And here we see the WWE machine. I mean, hate to be standing on the soapbox again about the same topic that I feel like we've been talking about for the past, I feel like we've been talking about this ever since Wrestling Defenders started.
Yeah.
That
before we even called it Wrestling Defenders.
Yeah, before we even called it Wrestling Defenders. And it's that the WWE is having this talent that it can bring up, but it's not utilizing it. I mean, bringing in people like, let's say, for example, ex-Bullet Club members, Luke Gallows, Carl Anderson, and AJ Styles. Those names are great to come in. I love watching them perform on a bigger stage. But at the end of the day, WWE has all this talent that they have at their disposal, but it seems like they either just don't care about the talent, or like something isn't right, and it's gonna shoot, and it's WWE shooting themselves in the foot, really.
Yeah, and it was because we had talked about this before. It was very surprising that Cody had asked for his release, even though it was really prevalent that he was doing really nothing.
Yeah, really. And then also how rumors started to circulate about how he liked the Stardust gimmick. I kind of started to believe that because at WrestleMania, at WrestleMania, he had the tribute to his father on his suit with the polka dots, and they had the polka dot ladder. I thought he was gonna get the biggest push after that because the crowd just went nuts. Like, that's the biggest pop I've heard in a very long time.
I think Cody had went on record in saying he didn't want his father's death to further his own career.
Yeah.
So I don't think he would have allowed them to do that for him. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, but like at the same time, it brought more attention to the Stardust character.
Yeah.
It didn't necessarily just it wasn't a Rey Mysterio and Eddie Guerrero situation, but it definitely made people pay more attention because like when you see Stardust with like the Ascension, it was just like, oh, they're rattling off about some weird Bray Wyatt type shit.
Yeah.
Like, it was very repetitive.
I found that Cody has always much like Damien Sandow, who we'll get to in a bit, has always turned chicken shit into chicken salad, like he said.
Oh, yeah.
When he was given any sort of like a gimmick character, he made it work. Like the dashing Cody Rhodes or the undashing, the guy with the face mask.
He had the most delicious chicken shit porn stash ever.
Yeah.
I will miss seeing that porn stash.
We missed the porn stash Cody. Anything he was given, he really made it work. I feel like he was very underappreciated as a guy who can make a character, no matter how goofy or out of left field it was, really work.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really bummed out to see him go. I really enjoyed Cody Rhodes.
Yeah.
But, if it's a matter of being unhappy, then, by all means, you do you, boo-boo.
Hell yeah.
And then it also goes with Wade Barrett, who had it's been noted for a while that he asked for his release and that he wasn't going to re-sign with WWE. I think because it goes with the whole, again, you're just not giving. There are those guys in a certain time frame of professional wrestling who debuted. Guys like Cody Rhodes, who came in like 2007, or Wade Barrett.
Wade Barrett that came in on the first season of NXT.
I think that was 2009.
Yeah, around that time.
Just like they're kind of weirdly stuck between the era of guys like John Cena, Randy Orton, Batista, who came in like that era, between guys who are now coming in this era.
Mm-hmm.
They're not old enough to be recognized as like these legends kind of deal, quote unquote.
Yeah.
But they're not new and fresh anymore at that point.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, years from now, like let's say 20 years from now, Cody Rhodes is going to be known as one of the best technical wrestlers of this PG era generation.
I think one of the best character technical wrestlers.
And one of the best character performers in general.
Mm-hmm.
Because no matter what he was given, he made it work. Just like Barrett, just like Damien Sandow. These guys were all given gimmicks that, frankly, if anybody else were to give them, it'd be horrible.
Bad News Barrett.
Bad News Barrett. Macho Mandow, which I found extremely entertaining. I am not going to lie.
And, no, especially the whole Damien Sandow thing, I guess we can get to that now, is just, he was given more chicken shit out of anyone. Like the whole
seriously.
Coming out each, and the what was it, the Savior of the Masses gimmick, which I thought, like, I kind of liked. It was pretty good. And then they transitioned to that from, like, wearing a costume every week and then just teaming up with The Miz. And he's like, you know what? If you're going to make me do this shit, I'm going to do the best I fucking can to be noticed.
And it was great. And they had all this opportunity, like whenever Mizdow, which was his character at the time, turned on The Miz, they had so much opportunity there. Like, WWE had one of their own proverbial brass rings, and they just had to grab it. But they dropped it. It's down the drain pipe. Gone forever.
Yeah. And I always figure, like, what are they going to do with him? Like, even during the whole Mizdow thing, I'm like, they're going to break up, and what the hell are they going to do with him afterwards? I didn't realize they were going to do the whole Macho Mandow thing, and then they kind of had to stop doing that because of the Hulk Hogan deal. Remember, because he teamed up with Axelmania.
And then Hulk Hogan's penis just had to ruin everything.
Yeah, seriously. And then the last time I saw him was at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
When the crowd went apeshit for him.
He had the biggest pop in the Andre the Giant Battle Royal, but it was nothing. Like, Vince, creative, whatever, that's literally someone shaking you saying, give this man an opportunity. We really, really like him. Shut up and take our money if you put him in the right spot. And they're not doing it.
Mm-hmm. And I remember he was the first man to win Money in the Bank and lose.
Yeah, that was weird.
Because I'm trying to remember that match, and I figured he was in it.
He was first. It was John Cena. So, of course he's going to lose.
And he wasn't elevated to that point, because I think that's a good example of Money in the Bank, which is actually coming up. Mm-hmm. Not being able to elevate a star like that, because he had just debuted, didn't he?
Yeah, he had, like, just debuted. It's gotten to the point now, like, Money in the Bank used to be, like, the very prestigious. Well, besides, like, I'd say, like, Mr. Kennedy and Damien Sandow, everybody else was elevated. Edge, elevated. CM Punk, elevated. Rob Van freaking Dam, even though he was a huge star already, got to that next level with Money in the Bank.
But he couldn't get off that weed.
But he couldn't just put the weed somewhere where the cops couldn't see it, god damn it.
RVD 420 said I just smoked your ass.
Oh.
He smoked your career, dude. I don't know. But, and then one that happened actually more recently than the whole Stardust thing, I think. Or no. It was a little bit... Actually, I think it was recently. I texted you, didn't I? Was the Adam Rose deal.
Oh, God, that is...
That was a really weird... Because I honestly feel for the guy. Really.
I feel to the guy for a certain point.
Yeah.
Because it's pretty publicly known that WWE takes their drug policy like it's the Wild Wild West. Like, do you think John Cena is being drug tested as much as Adam Rose was, or do you think Roman Reigns is being drug tested as much as like person A or B? Not saying the top guys in WWE are using drugs that are against WWE's wellness policy, but what I am saying is that they're kind of picking on the little guy a little bit. And I was all with Adam Rose at the start of this because it's like, look, how the hell is ADHD medication going to influence you in the ring or influence your appearance? It's just going to help your concentration because you have a disorder.
Yeah, and also his sister had passed away from, I think, a cocaine addiction. He had mentioned that. And then he got suspended for using a prescribed drug for his ADHD. And then he spoke out about that. And then he was arrested. Basically, he and his wife got into a confrontation. And she had went to grab the police. She went to go grab the phone to call the police, and he grabbed her by the face. But that he was being charged for domestic abuse, but that was just whittled down to a misdemeanor. So he was really publicly charged for, I guess, tampering with police evidence because he tried to take a phone away from her.
Yeah.
And then at that point, we had all realized, oh, yeah, he's done. But I think he was like, if I'm going to go out and go out my terms, I'm going to ask for my release. But they're not going to argue against that, really. So
I just realized if all this stuff with like Damien Sandow, Cody Rhodes, and Adam Rose like all happened in the ring, like this would be great TV. This would be great. This is like pay-per-view style storytelling. WWE. This is sad when the wrestlers' real lives are more dramatic than what's happening in the ring. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, it's weird because now we just found out recently they're doing a brand split. So, but who's gonna be on the rosters? Because there's not too many people there.
I could see probably two things happening. One, both of them are gonna split and they're gonna be like smaller shows, but then that would mean they have to cut Raw back down to 2 hours, which, for the love of God, cut Raw back down to 2 hours. I don't have enough time for this.
I heard they're still going with 3 hours.
Dear God. Okay, so either one, they're going to work with a very limited roster for both shows, which is totally fine. Mm-hmm. It's kind of hard to do this whenever like whenever you have all these people just doing like 6-man tag matches. It gets pretty repetitive and boring. Mm-hmm. Or a lot of people are getting called up to NXT.
Or from NXT.
Sorry, yeah, from NXT.
Do you think that the World Heavyweight Championship is going to be defended on both shows?
Ooh, that is a good question. I could see it.
Because it's a unified title now.
Yeah. You know what, believe it or not, it may be unpopular opinion, but I hope they don't split it. Here's why. Because what was great about the brand split? You got to see more talent, and there was also a little bit of competition within the company. Mm-hmm. I think that's what WWE is missing, is that there's not enough competition within themselves.
Do you think they're kind of sad they have to go live because they can no longer edit out the boos?
I think it's great.
I've tried watching replays of SmackDown, and it's hard because it's so obviously edited. You know what I mean? But it really bothers me. It really does.
Kevin Dunn is not a magical wizard, sadly.
No. On Raw, they had Shane McMahon and Stephanie be like, well, I want to run SmackDown. No, I want to run SmackDown. And so you're both admitting like you'd rather run SmackDown than Raw?
Wait, weren't y'all just fighting over Raw like a month ago?
Yeah, they were just fighting for Raw. It was like, I don't know what it is. It's like, I want to run SmackDown. There's not going to be any more power on SmackDown, honestly.
I swear to God, if they do a WrestleMania 2000 thing, there's a McMahon in every corner.
And then Linda McMahon's racist self will come on down.
And then Linda McMahon's going to stand up and everyone's going to lose their shit. She's going to pull out Mick Foley's dirty ass Sacco from his own sweatpants and just gouge everybody's eyes out with it.
Yeah. So I guess we can move on to Extreme Rules now.
Yay!
Extreme Rules 2016 came to us live from New Jersey, the asshole of America. And on the pre-show, nothing really happened on the pre-show except so the Dudleys came out as Byron Saxton and Mauro Ronaldo on commentary, and everyone's chanting ECW because it's New Jersey and it's in that area.
Of course.
And then the Dudleys, like, they mention ECW, and they get everyone to chant ECW, and then they do, and then he calls them sheep, and then said they killed off ECW by leaving. And I can honestly guarantee that a lot of things killed off ECW. It wasn't just you, Dudleys.
Yeah, Dudley's like, look, you nice and all, but that wasn't just you.
No.
Let's be real.
And they also said they took it down the toilet is where, and also that's where all the most of the careers of the new era stars are going.
Damn.
So that's actually
Fairly accurate.
Time will tell if that's just them being heels or them being accurate. And then Big Cass comes out. Crowd is chanting. Crowd can't chant for shit.
I know, right?
In this town, they can't chant for shit.
That entire thing, like I'd hear one person chant, one part of the crowd chanting one thing, one part of the crowd chanting another, and it kind of took me out of the match. And I was like, "Would y'all pick a damn chant and just stick with it? You can do both. Just do one of them first."
Yeah, and Big Cass says that they know extreme like the Dudleys do, these new stars do, and they do it in front of millions of people. Ooh. They haven't been very extreme as I don't know. Ooh. Would you consider the new era to be as extreme as ECW?
I consider the new era extreme in the sense of they are more willing to do big spots in good ways. Mm-hmm. I mean, like let's take Rollins and Sting last year's Night of Champions pay-per-view. They had to rely on really big spots.
Yeah.
But with the new era, they build to those big spots. I don't want to say you're expecting the big spots, but like something big is going to happen. But like with the older people who have been in WWE for a hot minute, like they're just doing big spots out of nowhere.
Yeah. And then Cass goes to attack them, and then they beat on his ass for a little bit, and the crowd chants for Enzo. Enzo doesn't show up. And then Big Cass beats the shit out of both of them. I feel like I'm kind of split on that, because if it was just any two dudes beating up on Cass, and like, okay, Cass is really strong. But it's the Dudleys who have been teaming together for, 20 years?
Well, I mean...
They can't take down one dude? I'm pretty sure they tagged
It's because he's 7 foot tall. It's because he's 7 foot tall, Alex.
I'm just saying, 20 years, dude. They couldn't beat down one guy. Anyway, and that also goes into the whole... Enzo, he came back the night after, right, on Raw?
Yeah.
Why didn't he just come back the night before?
Because...
For that, that would have popped huge.
Oh, yeah, that would have been a huge pop, but
But the idea of Enzo evening the playing field against the Dudleys is kind of ridiculous.
Yeah. Oh, God. WWE, what are you doing?
Yeah, and so then we had Rusev on the social media lounge, and holy shit, Rusev is fucking gold. I love Rusev. He's talking about how he already called his mom. She already congratulated him and everything for winning the title. And then Lana, who's there, she goes, "Why is it just ask Rusev? Why isn't it ask Rusev or Lana?" And then Tom Phillips goes, "Can we just? I'm going to ask the first question." And Rusev goes, "No, ask the third one." I fucking love
And
Rusev.
Lana, you want to know why it's not hashtag ask Rusev and Lana? Because no one gives a shit about you, Lana.
I beg to differ, because later they were chanting, "We want Lana" in a match she was already a part of.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
You didn't hear that?
No, I was kind of more so focused on, the match.
I'm just saying, this crowd, when they get one chant right, it's going to be for Lana.
When they get one chant right, it's for Lana. Literally no one else.
I will go on record of saying that Rusev is just a far superior Roman Reigns.
Yeah, really,
I'd
say so.
He's honestly, for a guy who really is quote-unquote savage, he's more of a brute. He's more charismatic. He's more technical. He's more sound.
Yeah, he's kind of like that one... Okay, I think of him like this. He's kind of like that one guy in high school that has wrestled all 4 years of high school.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Yeah, man, let me put you in this lock." And then, he does it to you without you saying yes.
I fucking love Rusev. I wish he was more, more in the main event scene, but whatever, he gets what he can get. And then we have fucking Dolph Ziggler against Baron Corbin on the pre-show yet again. I had made a note that we had a former two-time World Heavyweight Champion and the most recent winner of the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal on the pre-show.
The damn pre-show.
And it was no DQ, mind you. It was no DQ.
Just a quick question. Why the hell should we give a shit about this rivalry now? They've gone at it so much, and it's like, what are they fighting about anymore?
They're not done, right? They have one more match on SmackDown.
Oh my
this
God.
Week.
Why? There's no point.
And okay, so there was this one spot in the match that really bothered me. It was a spot where they do the whole thing. They tie your arms in the ropes, and then they beat on you. They tried doing that, but Dolph's arm was clearly free. He can easily move. I guess he just refused to. They kind of made up for it by Dolph just kind of like sliding out as he kept getting beaten up. But it was really, and the only thing that made it DQ was Baron Corbin was able to uppercut Dolph in the balls.
Yeah, and that was really it. You know what? Which for this type of pay-per-view, it's fine because there's a lot of like spots like that, but you can get a little bit better. Also, the main event is Extreme Rules, but the beginning show is no DQ. Can you explain to me the difference?
I actually have no clue.
You know what? Because I remember watching ECW replays as a kid because I'm kind of young, and you and I weren't necessarily wrestling fans whenever ECW was in its prime.
No.
So whenever I think Extreme Rules, I think of Tommy Dreamer going down to the ring with a shopping cart full of freaking kendo sticks and barbed wire bats. I just don't see them, they're going to fight outside the ring and hit each other in the nuts. Like, there's a difference between Extreme Rules and no DQ.
I believe this was the match for the worst hair.
Oh my god! I
think maybe that's what's on the line.
They need to have a hair versus hair match. They need to have a hair versus hair match.
Whoever loses, I will be fine with. Honestly, because Dolph needs to. Dolph's hair is a better character than Dolph Ziggler.
I know, right? Dolph's hair shows different emotion. It shows different velocities of moves.
I feel really bad because like I used to remember in 2012 it was a huge Dolph, or maybe it was 2013. It was a huge Dolph Ziggler revolution. Remember when he cashed in Money in the Bank for the first time? He won it, and everyone was like, "Yes, Dolph Ziggler, he's our man." And then he got injured, and then everyone was just kind of deflated on him.
Dolph Ziggler.
Anyway, so then they showed the Bugs fucking commercial again, which I would never really get over.
It's sad when the Bugs are more over than the champion.
It's just
the fucking Bugs are over more than the champion.
If only they were that creative with their actual talent.
I know, right?
Guys, we need a commercial for Extreme Rules. How about 2 Bugs fucking?
Why not?
It's spring Bugs fuck, right? We move on to the main show, and at this point I had realized there was really no mention of the tag team titles on the pre-show. At least to my knowledge. There was no mention of them, so I'm like, are they not defending tonight? But then I remembered that they had won, or the Vaudevillains had won a tournament, or not really won, because the whole Enzo thing.
They more so won by default.
Yeah, they won by proxy or default, yeah. Anyway, so the Usos came out, booed to hell.
So booed.
Dude, I think the Usos are booed more than Roman.
That's a little sad.
At this point, I think it's I don't know, why is that?
Because they're so damn boring. They're boring. Their whole thing is, we're Roman Reigns' cousins, and we wear neon.
I think that's it. I think that's honestly it. It's because, like, they're not the Usos, they're Roman's cousins in any storyline.
Yeah, really. I mean,
how long has that storyline been going on?
I have no idea, but dude, they have no personality. It's a lot like, okay, look at the New Day. The New Day has personality. Look at Luke Gallows and Carl and Anderson. I can't talk today. They have personality, and that's kind of the point. Is that for you to be a tag team, you have to differentiate the 2 different people. I can't talk because I'm so damn frustrated.
I think when you have a tag team where you can't tell which is who.
Yeah, really. I still don't know who's Jay and who's Jimmy. One of them grew out their beard more.
The commentators don't know either because sometime during the match, he goes, Jimmy Uso. Never mind, I think that's Jay. Honestly, I swear to God.
Oh, by the way, I'll talk about the commentary when we get to one specific match that really infuriated me.
Also, I found it weird. There was a guy who's clearly confused because when the Usos came out, he was wearing that Roman Reigns vest, but he was booing the Usos, both thumbs down. I'm like, that really speaks volumes.
Oh my god, that's bad.
That's really fucking bad.
Oh my god.
And then they, apparently there's a tag team tornado match. I didn't know that going in.
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand why that was the stipulation.
I guess it's because, like, it's a blood feud. They're not going to wait for tags. They're going to fucking fight.
Then why not call it an extreme tornado tag or, like, literally anything else? Don't just call it a tornado tag match.
There was a point in this match where I believe it was Anderson who went for a running knee to the Uso, who was really close to the ground, and then when Anderson fell too, he grabbed his ankle. I'm like, for the love of God, no.
Oh, yeah, no. That scared the crap out of me. I thought he actually hurt himself.
Honestly,
I was like, for the love of God, no.
That scared me more than any other spot in the rest of the night.
I know, right?
Just because I'm like, not another one.
Please do not get injured, for the love of God. We need to put, like... We need to start, like, bubble wrapping the superstars before they start doing big moves.
Can we demote the program to G so no one has to get injured?
Yeah, like they just sit in the ring and they have tea. That's the entire pay-per-view.
I found that the Usos are really the worst part of any storyline they're part of.
Yeah, really.
Not because they're bad. I actually kind of like the Usos for their in-ring prowess, but it's just like,
oh yeah,
it's the
in
same
ring
thing.
they're great, but they have no character. They're bland. They're starting to become the new Wyatt family, to where like people just get fed to them, to where they have no story. They're like, oh, you don't have a story, we'll feed you to them.
I was just really glad that the club, I guess they're calling them that.
The club. You couldn't have come up with any other goddamn name.
Or the Bullet Farm, like Mad Max.
The Bullet Farm, Club Bullet, even.
Yeah, Club Bullet. Fucking Finding Nemo. Anything better than the fucking club.
They should be called Finding Nemo, and AJ Styles should be Dory, forgetting whose side he's on all the time.
They won with the Magic Killer, which I'm fine with. But like after
yeah.
the Uso splashed on the ring bell that Luke previously brought in,
Yeah.
which I like that spot. And
Yeah, that was a good
honestly,
spot.
it made the club, I guess they're calling that, I guess I might as well, look really strong. They kind of dominated the whole thing.
Yeah, that was pretty much a pretty dominating match. And also, I love how one of the Usos got thrown over the barricade and then just kind of laid down and died there.
Yeah. Next, we had Rusev versus Kalisto for the U.S. Championship, and I was really upset because the crowd had almost no reaction for Kalisto. You fucking uncultured swines.
You uncultured swines, enjoy this guy that we're trying to make into the new Rey Mysterio. Come on.
Okay, I was going to bring that up later, but I might as well do that now. I'm really getting sick and tired of the whole...
Big guy versus small guy deal?
No, the whole... This is the new era, am I right?
Yes.
Can we please stop comparing all the new era guys to guys of old they're trying to recreate?
Yeah.
Like Kalisto, during his match, they said, think of Rey Mysterio. And then for the Charlotte thing, the whole Ric Flair deal, they've been doing that for like half a year or a whole year. And then during Dean Ambrose match later, they said, this guy reminds me of Brian Pillman, the whole crazy guy gimmick and then the whole Roman Reigns Rock thing. It's just, that really annoys me because you're promoting this new era, but you're constantly stuck in trying to promote the old one.
I think it's because WWE's in this weird form to where they know how to make money off of their older stars, but when it comes to newer guys, they refer back to the older ones because they don't know how to build them back up. And it's really strange, and that was one of my big problems with the commentary team, because they were just like, oh, Kalisto's just like Rey Mysterio, oh, Dean Ambrose is just like Brian Pillman, oh, Roman Reigns doing something like his cousin The Rock. It's like, look, we understand these people are like superstars from the past. We can identify with that. There's some character types that are going to stay in WWE forever. But stop billing them as a knockoff. That's like going to Walmart and having a great value generic brand of Pop-Tart, but then you just have greater value.
Yeah. And so this match, I will admit, was a little disappointing considering, who's in the ring, and I enjoy both of them. But at some point in the match, I think it was the finish, was where Rusev threw Kalisto onto the apron.
And then he just kind of sat there agonizing in pain.
I think they're playing... this is just me speculating, but I think they're playing off the Enzo thing. Like, oh, he may actually be really, really hurt, guys,
Yeah, and that's what I thought. I thought he was actually really hurt, and I was waiting for the X across the chest, but I didn't see it. And then... I'm not gonna lie, I love how Rusev just dragged him and put him in that camel clutch. It was just like, about to bust him in half.
That was the greatest accolade. I think he should only do that exclusively on little guys from now on.
Yeah, that is great. I literally thought he was gonna fold in half, and I loved every minute of it, and I hate myself for it.
Rusev is the perfect ideal for what you want in a big guy versus a little guy match.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I just felt like they could have done more. How long was that match? It wasn't that long.
It seriously wasn't that long at all.
Anyway, and then we move on to the New Day versus the Vaudevillains.
Which, by the way, when the Vaudevillains entered, I see what you mean now. I could hear a pin drop in that stadium. Everyone was just like...
No, because I was saying that because it's just certain gimmicks that don't work on the main roster. It's just weird.
Yeah, it is a little weird.
And you think it because it's New Jersey, they act like a snarky crowd.
Yeah, really.
But you don't really give any heat to the Vaudevillains because the only thing I remember the Vaudevillains doing is just winning a tournament by default. Do you think they would have won the tournament if Enzo had not been injured?
No. Enzo and Cass would have probably gotten the push, and they probably would have carried it to SummerSlam. But I have to say, one of the Vaudevillains looks too Hitlery. He looks too damn Hitlery.
like too much like Hitler.
Yeah,
Because of the hair.
Yeah, he has the hair and the mustache, and it's just shaped weird, and he just looks like Hitler. And he talks about like how things should be better in a past time, and it just rubs me the wrong way.
And so this time tonight, it was the combination of Big E and Xavier.
Which I'm happy to see.
Yeah, I thought for a fact like that combination was like, oh, they're gonna lose.
Actually, I contrary to that, I thought they were gonna win because I feel like in like more high profile matches, Kofi and Big E are the ones in. But I'm glad to see Xavier in there because I feel like he deserves that spot instead of being the comical guy on the ringside because he's actually a very technically very sound wrestler, but he hasn't had that time to shine, and I'm glad he was actually in this match.
As much of a good wrestler as he is, I think he's better suited as a character manager.
Yeah, definitely.
In that aspect, because he's fucking phenomenal. Speaking of, he was trying to fuck somebody.
Oh yeah,
on that night he was trying to get some. He was trying to get some.
Yeah, I heard that.
Trying to get that dick wet, Xavier. Come on now, buddy.
That promo though.
And it's just people were kind of pissy that Xavier kicked out of the whirling dervish. Have they really promoted that thing as like a guy killing move?
No, they haven't. They haven't promoted anything of the vaudevillains at all. By the way, Vince hates them.
Who, the vaudevillains?
Yes.
Does he really?
Yeah, he doesn't like them. He doesn't think that they're gonna do good on the main roster like at all.
That's we'll see.
Yeah.
Again, because like they're not really getting any reactions. It's just a weird gimmick to have on the main roster.
They need to
because
give
it's
them
so
something
silly.
Else. I'm not saying that they should change their gimmick, but they need to change it into some type of other attitude. But just saying like, oh, the past is so great, ha ha ha, and then just going off that, it's like,
And finally, someone was able to reverse Big E's spear. I thought I was saved from having to see it, but then he did it later on. That move scares the shit out of me.
I know, right? Because he just dives head first.
Yeah, and I'm like, dude, one of these days I'm going to watch you get paralyzed, and I don't want that. It scares the hell out of me.
Yeah, no. How are we supposed to see that fabulous hip swivel if you're paralyzed, bro?
Anyway, so the New Day won. How many months has it been? When did they win the titles?
They won it, oh, God. Oh, it's been over 200 days. I know that. It's been over 200 days.
Yeah.
Do you think that they'll lose it at SummerSlam?
Most likely.
I can see
that's
them.
where I don't know, man. The last SummerSlam, nothing really happened.
Sometimes SummerSlam is very hit or miss, but
Yeah.
I feel like this SummerSlam's actually going to be good given the response that they got at WrestleMania.
Yeah, you think. Anyway, and then we had Renee Young
Ooh.
interview AJ Styles, and she said he is headed for his first Extreme Rules match. Given that how long AJ has been wrestling for, I want to say that's not true.
No, that's definitely not true.
I think
at
she
all.
means it's his first match at Extreme Rules.
Yeah, because AJ Styles, like whether you've seen him on TNA or New Japan or Ring of Honor, he's had some pretty intense matches.
And I think at some point, I don't know if it was in the pre-show or the main show, where AJ walked into a door that said the club, and the idea of the club having their own locker room makes me giggle with disbelief.
Yeah, because they're like, oh, AJ's like, no, I don't want to be with the club. But then you're sharing a locker room, dude. I mean, come on.
Because they're friends. That's their whole gimmick is like they're friends. And then they officially break up on Monday.
Yeah, look, this is just a giant tease. AJ, just do it already. Just do it.
I thought they were waiting for the whole Finn Balor thing.
That's what I thought too. But we're probably going to have to wait till after June after Finn gets his rematch.
And then we had probably the greatest match of the year so far that was not NXT.
Yes.
The Fatal 4-Way match for the Intercontinental Championship. Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Cesaro, and The Miz. Now, I tweeted, if you want to see our live tweets about the event, go to @Bpoint5 Gaming on Twitter. But I had said on Twitter, the only thing extreme about this match is how much this match does not need The Miz.
Yeah, really.
I feel like towards the end, I felt that The Miz had added a bit of something, like a bit of heat to the match, because he's the only guy really that you're supposed to hate.
Yeah.
I mean, you're supposed to hate Kevin Owens because he's a dick, but you can't help but to really like Kevin Owens.
Yeah, but I do have to say, I like what Miz is doing to the belt right now. He's doing very good technical work with it. I mean, I don't want to say he's bringing honor or like prowess back to it, but he's giving it a certain technical feel that it hasn't had in a very long time.
I feel like if they had just more of this, more of these guys do that with the championship, I think it'd have been elevated.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I think these championships are maybe not at their highest point, since they kind of lowered down in the 2009 to 2011 era. But like during the whole, they had the chance to capitalize on that during the whole John Cena Open Challenge thing that happened like a year ago.
Yeah.
But with that of rising the lineage or the prestige rather of the U.S. Championship, they kind of demoted the IC because they weren't doing anything with that at the time.
Yeah, really.
Didn't Ryback at that point win it in a really shitty Elimination Chamber match?
Yeah, something like that. And then Ambrose had it and then Owens took it back, which was great. And then he and Dean fought over it for a little bit.
And then Dean won. And then who did he lose it from again? Who did he lose it to? Kevin Owens again.
He lost it to Kevin Owens also in a Fatal 4-Way.
And then they defended it at WrestleMania. And then, okay, got it.
Yeah.
Where The Miz won it. And then in the beginning of the match, right away, Sami Zayn fucking bolts you out of the side of the ring and then kicks Kevin Owens in the face with the hula hoop kick.
I thought he was about to get launched into next week. That was amazing.
And then immediately Cesaro uppercuts The Miz, and then so it's just Sami Zayn versus Cesaro, which I thought was new and exciting. I don't think I've seen that yet, so I'm looking forward to hopefully seeing more of that in the future.
Yes, definitely.
And thank God for Kevin Owens for selling the hell out of that move.
Oh yeah, he
was out for a bit.
He sold it harder than a used car salesman that's about to get evicted from his damn apartment.
And then at some point they do the whole 4-man superplex thing where one guy has the one guy and the other guy is that guy and the other guy's gonna throw him. They were teasing that spot, but then Kevin Owens comes in and breaks it up because he's an asshole and doesn't want anyone to get excited over anything.
No one gets excited, and then I'm loving the way Kevin Owens is just yelling shit now. Like that's his new thing. He just yells.
He yells at people in the ring, and it's fucking phenomenal. No one does that anymore. They yell spots like Ziggler.
Yeah.
He's the opposite of Ziggler in every way, and it's awesome.
Like I think it was Monday. He was like, "Yeah, master the headlock," and I was like, "Yeah."
I love Chinlock City, baby.
Chinlock City.
And then there's at some point where they had done the imploder German suplex spot.
Yeah.
And then the announcers didn't give a shit. They're like, "Oh boy." I'm like, "Can you act excited for a bit? At all the entire night, please?"
The announcers of this pay-per-view again really pissed me off. We're not at the point where I can tell you which one extremely pissed me off, but that was it. When you have those big spots, why aren't you talking with enthusiasm? Michael Cole, you're kind of being a lazy piece of shit. Byron Saxton, shut up. JBL, learn some damn English, boy.
I think Byron Saxton, is he on SmackDown?
I don't care.
It's Mauro Ronaldo and...
I don't care where Byron Saxton is, frankly. He could be commenting while in the third floor bathroom of whatever shitty building they're in.
But you have to understand that the pay-per-views in Raw, like Vince is yelling in their ear, telling them what to do, so that's why they fucking suck. Is he telling them not to get excited over an imploder German suplex spot?
Yeah, seriously. It's ridiculous.
And then we had one of my favorite spots was the uppercut train.
Oh, that was great.
The 3-man uppercut train. And then after that, we had the Cannonball Express where Kevin Owens was cannonballing fucking everybody.
I know, right? That was insane. I kind of loved how everybody had that time to showcase their moves.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a spot with Cesaro, and I think he had the Miz, and he was doing his swinging. And are we counting like how many seconds he's swinging for, or how many times he goes around? Because the crowd lost me there.
Did you? I actually wish I would have rewatched it, the match to count how many the crowd actually counted. I think they counted like 20.
Yeah, it was
the
on
actual
20.
count was 16.
16.
I think 15 or 16. I wrote on Twitter was actually 16.
Yeah.
I yelled about it before. People need to learn how to fucking count rotations.
Yeah, seriously.
Make a fucking effort. It's not like the Royal Rumble. All right. Even in the Royal Rumble, it's like they're 3, 2, 1.
They speed it up so quick.
And then it's still on 1, so everyone's just there in awkward silence because they realize they fucking suck at counting. Anyway, so I guess we're back to kicking out of finishers. They were doing really well for doing that for a while.
Yeah, really, but now
unless you're Roman Reigns, but everybody else was just not kicking out of finishers and they were just reversing them. So I'm like, oh, that's really fucking good. But I guess they're doing that again. And then the finish happens, I think, Sami Zayn Huluga kicks Miz.
Yeah, and he's about to go for the pin, but then I believe Kevin Owens pulls him out of it, and then they brawl on the side.
No, Sami Zayn beats the shit out of Kevin.
Yeah.
And because of that, his own rage, his own vendetta, the Miz got the pin.
Yeah.
And I think that's a good that's good storytelling. That's consistent
that was
storytelling.
a nice hot plate of storytelling, man.
I mean, it's consistent. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's very consistent.
This fucker who won't stop fucking with him. Mm-hmm. He's like, oh my god, fuck you, dude. I'm kicking the shit out of you. I don't care.
They need to just catapult that rivalry already to be like a 5-match pay-per-view style rivalry and just make it personal and make it everything that I just want it to be already.
Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
When Kevin Owens pulled Sami Zayn out of the ring and Sami Zayn went apeshit, Byron Saxton on commentary says, oh, well, that just upset Sami Zayn. That enthusiastically. That just upsets him.
Byron! I am sorry! I have tried throughout this podcast to cut you a break, but I'm about to roast you like a pig on the open fire. First of all, your voice annoys the crap out of me. Your stupid smile, I want to knock your damn teeth out, and your suits are horrible. No! Duh! It upset Sami Zayn with his worst rival is pulling him out from winning a championship. No, duh! I believe you were a prospect on NXT, right? Am I not right? Was he not on NXT as an actual wrestler?
Yes, sir, he was.
Yes. Okay, then. Then you know the wrestling business. I'm assuming you do if you're working for WWE. What are you doing? Sorry, I just...
Daddy won't stop hitting mommy.
I'm turning... I've already turned heel on you. Now I'm starting to blur the line. I'm like the CM Punk of this podcast now.
Are you okay?
No, I'm gonna take this mic and take a picture of it in my fridge and quit the podcast.
Dude, we need you to calm down, man. We have an entire show to get through.
Oh, God damn it! All right.
You okay?
I'm good.
You need some iced tea?
I'm good.
I don't have any, but you need some?
I need some of Randy Savage's half and half.
I actually have half and half.
Oh,
anyway,
wonderful.
So it was Ambrose versus Jericho in a Clockwork Orange House of Fun match. Did you?
That's the best way you could ever name that.
Because that's a TNA thing.
Yeah.
That was Raven's match for a while. They called it an Asylum match, and so of all the things, okay, so the match starts. The first thing Jericho does is go for the mop.
Which, by the way, those moppy chants were great. I loved those moppy chants.
Guys, Perry Saturn isn't coming back.
Sadly, no.
No. So this match, let's talk about this match. This match was a not so much a paradox. It was an enigma.
Yeah, because they're like, oh, there's no escaping the asylum, but it's a steel cage with no roof.
That's what I'm saying. Like, there's no escape except when there is at all times.
Seriously, what I think they should have done is put a roof on there, or maybe make a smaller Hell in the Cell, and then put the weapons on the wall.
Or like have them dangle down.
Yeah, that would have been so much better.
So, this match was probably considered the most boring of the night.
Yeah.
From a lot of people, myself including.
It lasted. I timed it because maybe I didn't watch it in a totally legal way that had multiple videos, but from the time code of this totally legal site, it was 26 minutes.
Yes, sir, it was.
That is a ridiculously long match for this type of pay-per-view.
Did you hear why?
Why?
Because there was allegedly supposed to be another McMahon segment on the pay-per-view that got cut. So they gave the Clockwork Orange match another 10 minutes. This match would have been a lot better if it was 16 minutes or just 16 minutes.
Yeah, really. By the way, when did Jericho start wrestling in jeans?
When he found out it was an Extreme Rules. But everyone does that. Like, it's Extreme Rules. Just wear normal clothes or something like that. And what really bums me out was no one was fucking into this match. I mean, the announcers weren't. The fucking fans weren't.
Okay, I have to say this. The announcers... This is the part I've been wanting to talk about. Get your shit together. Because so many times they got confused on what weapons they were grabbing. Which is fine if you were like us watching it. Because, like, let's say they have a straitjacket on one end and the barbed wire bat on the other. And they're shooting from one angle. They look like they're both on the same angle. But Byron, Cole, L, y'all are on a... I call him L, okay?
You call him L?
I call him L. He's a real close friend. But come on, y'all. You guys can literally see it in front of your face what weapons are where, and they're getting all confused on which ones they're grabbing.
I think they don't look at the ring. They look at the monitor so they can...
The ring's right in front of them!
But they need an excuse to look at their scripts.
The screen... Why?
I felt bad. Because Dean does that really fucking scary spot where he jumps off the roof or the
Oh,
top
that was great.
for
I do
an
have to say
elbow.
that.
No reaction from anybody.
But the tax.
The Tax was the biggest star of the night.
Tax.
Okay, so at some point there were chants of "We Want Ryder," which is really fucking unfortunate.
Oh.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, I did hear that.
And then when they got the thumbtacks out, everyone popped real big, and then they did a really awesome job, like teasing all those moves into the tax.
Oh yeah, that was great. Which, by the way, I'm so glad that they actually used the barbed wire 2x4 now. That they actually did use it.
Yeah, they used it for a bit, like way more than what was advertised for the fucking Dean Ambrose Brock Lesnar match.
Yeah, seriously.
Now that looking back retrospectively, it's really fucking weird. Brock Lesnar had a match with Dean Ambrose at WrestleMania.
Yeah, that's really strange.
That's really fucking weird, isn't it?
That doesn't sound like something that actually happened. But I do have to say, Jericho is forever one of the best wrestlers in this business because he took that spot like a champ, and you saw like his arms just shiny, full of tacks.
I really sincerely thought they were like, they're not gonna do the thumbtacks thing because it's
same.
today.
I was same. Like I was thinking like, oh, whatever, they're just gonna like tease it, but no, he really did it, and then he did a dirty deeds like.
Did they do it into the thumbtacks or no?
They did it pretty damn close. I think one got Jericho like grazed him maybe.
And then we had the women's match, which I feel like should be considered worse than the cage match. Not because of the women involved. They did the best they could, but it was
the ending.
Here's the thing. This they're always gonna be fantastic wrestlers having good matches.
Yeah.
I think this was the worst encounter of them so far.
Yeah, really.
I said that last time, but it's just I don't know. When you put in everything you can in that first go, what else can you do? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's really to no fault of their own. And then can we? I keep bringing this up, but it's a constant theme of it's a new era.
But yeah, they keep bringing back stars.
No, here's the thing: they can't book the women's division, the newly crowned women's title division, right? They cannot book a clean, definitive finish. Like, you know what? She was the better woman this night. She won. Hurrah! You know what I mean? They had to do the whole stupid. Okay, the Ric Flair thing, the Dana Brooke, this past week was fucking. It was. I don't think terrible is a more accurate word for it. It was a blight.
Yeah.
On this company.
And I'm sorry, like just talking realistically here from a believable storyteller standpoint, Natalya, that looked nothing like Ric Flair, even though they were walking backwards.
Yeah.
That looked nothing like Flair, like literally at all. Oh, is everybody who's blonde and has a blue robe? Oh yeah, that's Ric Flair.
It was more of the fake Donald Trump they did in 2007.
Yeah, really.
It was more that than it was Ric Flair. You've been staring at this man for like a month straight, slapping him and putting him in the sharpshooter. You can't tell what he looks like?
Yeah, seriously. And
But why Dana Brooke? Why is she aligned with the Flares?
I have no idea why she was even there.
So, what really sucks is I didn't even realize that was Dana Brooke until the announcer said it was, because she doesn't have any of the old Dana Brooke isms, like the silver hair, the weird pink lipstick. She just looked like another person.
Yeah, really.
I'm like, who did they just debut? Like, oh my god, it's Dana Brooke. I'm like, that's Dana Brooke? She looks nothing like what she looked like.
And I think Dana Brooke's already debuted.
I don't know, dude. And they made her look like a fucking dork, doing the weird Ric Flair strut, and Charlotte wanting to have nothing to do with her.
I know, right?
She made her look like a fucking dork. But can we have a definitive, like, who is her next challenger? Do we know? Did they say already?
I have no idea. It's probably going to be Dana Brooke. I can tell you that. It's probably going to be Dana Brooke.
If we can name anybody as of right now, who would you think?
Like I said, Dana Brooke, I would love to see somebody else get a shot at it. Like, literally anybody else. Like I know Sasha Banks is out right now, but maybe, God, it's really hard to think. Because, like, my mind goes to people like, you know, Becky Lynch and Paige, but they've already all have had shots at it. I don't feel like anybody else is ready.
We'll see. As of right now, I don't think anyone has actually gone ahead and be like, I want to challenge you. I think... Do you think we're going to have a Sasha Banks thing that we should have? No, because they did that 2 months ago. We can't do Becky Lynch. They did the same thing. But who else is really there? I mean, you don't have either of the Bellas.
No.
Paige is sure as fuck isn't.
Yeah.
I can't really think of anybody else that you think they're going to debut somebody. It has to be Dana Brooke, right?
It has to be Dana Brooke, or God hoping after this next NXT takeover, Bayley debuts.
When is the takeover?
It's June 8th, I think.
Okay. Honest, that's another thing. Do you think Bailey will also suffer the transition to the main roster?
I hope she doesn't, because she has such a unique thing
Mm-hmm.
that I think it would go over well. Because right now, if you look at the attitude of the women's division, it's very competitive. It's very ruthless.
Mm-hmm.
But you see Bailey, and she's a very much like, oh, I'm just happy to be here, happy-go-lucky, I'm a hugger type of character. And I think that's gonna go over pretty well.
I'm thinking, because I think as the NXT crowd, it's just like it's a more personal environment.
Yeah.
So they're more forgiving, and they're more like accepting. Yeah, accepting of like, oh, that's just a silly gimmick, or that's, yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Things like that. And Bailey's gimmick is that she's a little girl, and that kind of gimmick in this this place of like all that seriousness you were talking about. Do you think she's just gonna kind of fade into it, or just kind of like be relegated back to NXT when they realize they can't do anything with her?
I hope it sticks. I really hope it sticks. I believe that it can stick, but they have to do it right. Like I mean, look at Tyler Breeze. He had a great gimmick that went over pretty well. He had a good starting feud, and then after that, it was just like, whatever.
And he looks good too.
Yeah,
Not just his gimmick. I mean, but just like
he's pretty pretty.
Yeah, he's in good shape. He's literally everything you want, but he's small.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think as much as I love Bailey, and I think she's gorgeous, beautiful, she's not Vince McMahon gorgeous, beautiful in that sense.
Like blonde, tall.
Even Marie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? She's not that. She's more the girl in class that you find really, really attractive. You know what I mean? She's the girl in class.
She's that girl in class that you've stared at for 12 straight years, and on graduation day you go to ask her out, and then you just leave because you're like, fuck it.
And then she gives you the Bailey to Belly and wins the title from you.
Yeah, basically, and then you find out five years later that she's pregnant with her deadbeat boyfriend's child.
You want to talk about it, dude?
Not really.
All right.
Join us next time where we talk about our personal issues.
Welcome to Bpoint5, the personal podcast. Anyway, so now we have the main event: Roman Reigns versus AJ Styles for the World Heavyweight Championship in an Extreme Rules match stipulation. The crowd was really weird tonight.
Yeah, it was strange. Like, at a certain point, I heard like half the crowd chanting for AJ and half the crowd chanting for Roman.
Hear me out, because in the beginning, when everything started, he was given the full John Cena treatment.
Oh yeah.
In the sense of, I've never heard this. I've heard Roman sucks before, or whatever. I've heard Let's Go Roman sucks.
Oh, one of the best ones was it was either after AJ went through one or two of the other tables. They just started chanting, "You still suck."
You know what that means, right?
What?
That means you did something cool that we like, but we still refuse to like you.
We still hate you.
I heard chants of "You can't wrestle," "Roman sucks," or "Roman sucks" in the New Day cadence.
Roman sucks.
More Roman sucks chants. He was given the full John Cena treatment, and again he was flipped AJ on the announce table, who landed ass first.
Yeah, I saw that.
He was given two "You Still Suck" treatments. One was during that. The second one he did the Razor's Edge into a sit-out powerbomb, which I admit I don't like Roman, but I admit that was cool looking.
That was a really cool move, yeah.
But that leads into my thing of Roman looks like a fucking dork.
Yeah, really. What I'm starting to realize is that Roman Reigns is just like the proverbial stepfather of wrestling right now. Like, I bought you all these things. Shut up, Roman. You're not my real champion.
Technically, no.
Technically,
that's the storyline right now,
yep,
isn't it?
Yep, there you go.
We'll get to that in a bit. But there was a moment when he was doing the pin off the sit-out powerbomb. He was doing that weird Hawaiian bra thing.
I was like, stop.
While sticking out his tongue and waving his head.
I was like, I hope the referee just punched you in the head right now.
He looks like a dork no matter what they make him do. Like, I hate that whole shaky thing. You know what I mean? Only Victor from the Ascension can do that. You cannot, sir.
Yeah, really.
And then there was a moment where he, I guess, shoulder tackles AJ, but he stumbles and lands on his ass. I'm like, this dude is a fucking dork.
Yeah, really.
And then so the whole match, AJ, don't get me wrong, phenomenal match. No pun intended.
It was
fucking amazing.
It was a great match to watch and everything. Don't get me wrong. Even the interference with the club and the Usos wasn't bad, even though we've seen it before.
We literally saw it the last month.
Yeah, but still, they still kind of helped make it work. But how the hell do you tell Roman to kick out of 2 styles clashes? 2!
I tweeted that they kind of, I get it. It's WWE. You kick out of big moves like that. I mean, people have kicked out of John Cena's moves.
Yeah.
but it's I think people feel like you and I included feel like it's different for AJ Styles, very much like the same vein of the 3D, where only 2 people in history have ever actually done it.
Yeah.
Have kicked out of the 3D. Like people need to protect their moves a bit more.
Yeah.
I think AJ Styles' move is a bit more legitimate.
Yeah,
and the fact
definitely.
that it's actually broken people's necks.
Yeah, and to the fact that it's actually hurt people.
Yeah, and it's a really scary move. I'm honestly surprised that they let him still do it.
Yeah, seriously. And I don't know, just I kind of feel like they're burying AJ right now.
Mm-hmm. So, and I don't know, but like it was just 2-1 on the steel chair as well, and he still kicked out. But it was just the single spear that took out AJ.
Yeah,
what I mean?
still, and when he's going for the phenomenal forearm, that's such a strange finish to me. I mean, don't get me wrong, it looked kind of cool. They kind of botched it a little bit.
I feel like, of course, AJ is dominating the whole match, and they wonder why Roman is booed.
Yeah,
Like
seriously.
he's getting his ass kicked. Like, okay, I also hate the pitbull mentality for a lot of their superstars. Is the whole, oh, he's small, so we're gonna call him a pitbull because he's good at fighting. I don't think that should matter, me personally, but you're just like talking to a wall at this point.
Yeah, really.
Like, what are they gonna do? Is just like, you know what? You're right. We're gonna not call these small guys pit bulls. But anyway, the match was really awesome. Again, it's just the interference I personally really didn't like because again we just saw it last month, and the Usos were booed the hell again. The club was cheered obviously because we want to see these new guys elevated.
Yeah.
To a point, because Roman is relatively new. He got there in 2013, but we're in an age where it's just like, okay, what's going on tomorrow?
Yeah, really. And that's kind of not how WWE goes. They care about, like, what's next for Cena, what's next for Roman, what's next for Rollins, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but you need to worry about your entire show.
Yeah. We had discussed this way back. Is just like when everyone started getting injured, there was a feeling of like, holy shit, what do we do now? Because they were really bad at elevating everyone. So we were stuck with our main heel as Sheamus, who no one gave a shit about for like 2 years at that point.
Yeah, really.
Because didn't he come back from an injury a year prior or a couple months prior?
Something like that.
And anyway, so this all leads to Roman Reigns. Like, after all the chair shots and everything, Roman comes in, spears him, whatever. And then after that, big surprise, Seth Rollins came back. Apparently everyone knew that he was coming back, but I didn't.
Yeah,
so that was really a real surprise for me.
By the way, Kevin Dunn, a lot of people may give you shit, but the way you shot that was actually, I have to give you kudos.
Was like it just showed Roman and then...
It just showed Roman and then the crowd just pops and you're like, what the hell? And then you see the beautiful bearded bastard.
The second coming.
The second coming.
CrossFit Jesus has returned.
Crawfish Jesus.
Dude, you need to get that Cajun shit out of you right now. You're in New Mexico. Get the hell out of Louisiana.
I need to see someone's. Please send us a picture of a doctored crawfish to look like Jesus. But yes, he is here. He is here to save us.
The biggest pop on Extreme Rules. The biggest pop on Monday Night Raw. And they make him a heel.
Yeah, he's back as a heel, but I don't know if he is or isn't, because he's saying a lot of kind of facious stuff at the same time while saying a bunch of heelish stuff.
That's my thing, is just like recently, I think that's the new era. Is these guys, okay, we recognize you guys think our product sucks, but we're going to keep doing it, but we're going to say we're not. How does that sound, guys? You know what I mean? With the whole Shane McMahon deal. Like, this product has been really shitty since I left. I'm here to save it by doing the exact same thing you guys do.
Doing the exact same thing.
Well, I guess not really much else to talk about, but again, there's also the qualifying matches for the Money in the Bank that you'll hopefully do the predictions for. We can get that in soon.
Yes, definitely. There will be a predictions video for the Monday oh god damn it! Why can't I talk today? For the Money in the Bank.
You're just excited, Michael.
I'm just excited, Michael. but yes, there will be a predictions video for Money in the Bank, and hopefully it's good and promising.
It will be, man. I trust you. If you fuck us up, you're not on the podcast anymore.
We're not gonna get to those million viewers.
All right, we will, man. All right, thanks everyone for listening. We'll be back soon, hopefully after Money in the Bank or before Money in the Bank with our predictions. And thank you guys for listening. Bye, guys.
Laters.